Okay, here's a rather strange incident that took place on my YouTube channel. I had posted, I post these videos about UAE and Dubai and Indians and jobs and expatriates because, people share with me all this information. So this guy asked, can Indians take over UAE? Okay, so he said, because 80% they have taken over UAE or the population, can Indians take over UAE? So I responded, no, that's it. So then he asked again, why Indians can't take over UAE? So many people, the majority are Indians. If Indians leave, Dubai is finished, UAE is finished. So why can't Indians take over UAE? So, I found it a very silly argument. And I didn't want to, because I get so many messages and so many requests. And so I was like, I didn't have the energy and time to argue with him. So I was like, because I knew he was trying to prove his point. So I just told him, okay, you do it first, and then let's talk about it. Let the Indians take over. Because remember, the same question, I forgot to tell you, was asked before also by somebody else. So after I wrote that, this guy responds, very angry, you are a what, traitor? You took your Indian passport and you were kicked out of UAE and you're a loser, and all started, that's why people like you are thrown out of UAE and you're a loser, and now you're this, you're that, your channel is this, your videos, you're a hypocrite, two-faced, went on and on and on. Finally, I told him, see, my rupee earning, Indian rupee earning, Indian, keep your insecurities and your nationalistic pride that your balls or your dick is bigger, keep it to yourself. Just because you have immense pride about India and Indians, you think India is the greatest nation in the world, which is not wrong, fine, for you it is. That doesn't mean it actually is. India is great for Indians. If someone says India is better than my country, fine. But you can't go around telling, hey, my country is the best, all other countries are shit. Stupid, yeah. So he was filled with this insecure, nationalistic pride, arrogance, and ignorance. Finally, when he started spewing out more bad words and this, just blocked them, finished, blocked and deleted. So he is no more. But since given that two people asked me this question, I thought I'll answer it. Can Indians take over UAE? Okay, means take over completely. My answer is an emphatic no, which I've told you before. And why is it? Okay, I'll give you simple logic. Let's say I tell you, can some other country, let's say America or China, okay, or Russia, can they take over India? You'll say no. Say India has a superpower, India has nuclear weapons, India has military, you'll give me all the reasons, fine. Then imagine the majority of the Indians, okay, were expatriates. For example, do you think our government, do you think the people who built, were part of India for so long, they'll allow it? In fact, check the incidents with BJP. They are bringing up history to discriminate Muslims. They're bringing up, 100, 200, 500 years. Oh, India was a Hindu nation. We were all Hindus. Then Hinduism should be a national religion, or Hindi should be a national language. Now, why do people say all that? Or Sanskrit or whatever? Because they take a great deal of pride in the history, in the culture, the tradition and the background of India. Okay? In the same way, don't you think a country will preserve its culture, tradition, values from being eroded? Like, for example, see what has happened to the UK because of their diversity nonsense. Today, if you go to the UK, you see less of whites, more of Africans, Indians, Pakistanis. In fact, you don't feel like you're in UK itself. And then if a UK citizen, an actual white, posts his British flag or, talks about being white, it's called racist. I mean, what stupidity is this here? You need to preserve your culture, tradition, background, values, history. But at the same time, see the difference between what India and UK is doing. In India's case, they're using history and Hinduism and all the other things to do bad to others, while promoting, good for themselves. UK, on the other hand, just the politicians, they're playing this game to win votes. So in the name of diversity and, global acceptance and all that bullshit, they are inviting people from everywhere else in the world. That's why you'll see certain streets in UK, you can see on the videos, there are only Muslims, Pakistanis. One side there is only Indians. Okay, one side there's only Chinese. There's a Chinese town or Chinatown or whatever. It's both the extremes are not good. You must preserve your identity. India was okay until the BJP came. After the BJP came, all this Hindu nationalistic propaganda and the weaponization of religion. In fact, I got one guy, which is very common, Indian. He sent me a message, and what is his message? Teri maa ki, teri behan ke, and your teri bibi ko main ye, means I'll do this to your wife and this to your kid. And then he's saying Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Hanuman. What? Jai Shri Ram for saying Teri maa ki and Teri behan ke, and that is Ram. That is the values of Hinduism. I told him the values of Hinduism. I even sent him, stop drinking cow piss and eating cow dung, because your whole thinking capacity is filled with fecal matter. What nonsense is this? So remember, UAE has Muslim rulers, Muslim Arab rulers. They have the Emirati people occupying the top positions. Okay? Their values are Islamic. Yes, they are modernizing, allowing alcohol, prostitution, Western concepts of living together and all that, fine. But they will never change the foundations of Islam. And they take a great deal of pride in being an Arab. Just as these Indians, even if he is a bathroom cleaner, yeah, Hindustan and India and Mera Bharat, and they watch all these war movies and they saw, hey, Jai Hind. And if even a cleaner, a guy who earns less than $50 a day, month, $50, if he can praise India and be so loyal to India and will die to preserve India, you think Emiratis or people in the Gulf region, Arabs, they don't have that kind of passion and fervor? Fucking stupid. And this concept of, if all the Indians were to leave. Yes, there was a time, once upon a time, where there were only Indians and Emirati. Okay, once upon a time. Today, Indians can be easily replaced. I'm not saying all the Indians. A person can be terminated. You'll get someone from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Africa, some country, even Brits and Americans, they are ready to come. Don't think we are indispensable. We have an excess population of 1.4 billion with no way to give them jobs, no way to give them a proper salary, no way to give them a proper life. Why do you think so many Indians leave India? Tell me, is it because they are traitors? Because they have to survive, boss. This traitor and patriotism and nationalism will not feed you and put food on the table. Will not take care of you and your family. Will not take care of your children. You think Prime Minister Modi is going to ensure that your children have the best education or you get a secure job or a good salary? He's busy with these political rallies. And religion and God, you can break 10,000 coconuts, buy 100 kilo of fruits, put all the gold on all the gods, like how Vijay Mallya did. Nothing is going to happen, boss. Be practical. These gods are all man-made, all the gods. If proof, tell one God to appear. Why your God is hiding? Why your God can't make any miracles? Any God, any religion. This arrogance that Indians can do, man, you're going to someone else's country. It's like you can't, your house is in shambles, you're poor, you're in need, and you're going to somebody else and literally begging and working as a worker. You think you'll take over the master? I'm an Indian passport holder. Okay? When people say Indians this, Indians that, I do take notice, but I check the context. If they say Indians are smelly, okay, there's a little bit of truth in that. Indians eat curry. You know, here in these Facebook groups, they have these Brits, Australians, Canadians, Americans, they say, oh, the curry smelling Indian. Well, it's rude. It is rude. But there's an element of truth in it. When people call me, hey, curry smelling Indian, I tell them I do eat curry. I don't think I smell. But at least I'm not an ass wipe. But I wipe my ass with a tissue and that shit is still stinky and remaining stuck to your ass. Your hands, you wash it even after eating curry or little bit of dirt. Ass you will not wipe. And then you sit and eat someone else's ass. How is that? You should know how to put them in their place. See, the problem with our Indians is anything you tell them the truth and they don't like it. Okay, forget truth. If you tell them a fact and it goes against what they think or believe, how do they respond? Bad words? You're a traitor? Then, like that Indian guy, Teri maa ki, your mother's this, and your father, I'll do this, and your sister, and your wife, and your daughter. Imagine my 4-year-old daughter. And then in the end, they say, Jai Shri Ram. Is that the values of India? Is that the values of an Indian? Is that acceptable? Is that the values of Hinduism? When someone who is a Muslim does something wrong, you jump on him. But then you don't pinpoint what stupidity you do. In fact, one of the videos that was circulated in my WhatsApp group was this guy in a temple, he's making food. Rats are eating it, all the rats. And there is one cow where one lady is going and whispering, the cow is like, get the fuck out. Another lady is, they are praying to the cow. Now, tell me, does this make sense? You take milk, you take food, your vegetables, you take fresh foods that can feed the poor, and you dump it all on a statue, flowers. And then what do they do during the festivals? Put big statues which are made of, clay, cement, sand and paint. They dump it into the waters and pollute it. All these flowers that they throw on goddesses, which are hundreds of kilos per day. They dump it in the river. You know, the Gangas, Ganges as they call it. They have floating dead bodies, ashes. It's one of the most dirty and polluted waters. People shit and piss in that same water. And we had once, no? You can Google search this. A Punjab minister wanting to say how pure the Indian waters are, Ganga is. He drank one cupful. Ended up hospitalized for poisoning. Jackass. Look, India does have achievements. Indians are hardworking. Some Indians, or rather a few, go to achieve exceptional status globally. Yes, we should appreciate all this. I'm very proud of our Indian values. I'm very proud of being Indian myself. But what is wrong, like rape, corruption, unemployment, and this stupid third-class nationalistic attitude, or weaponizing religion, any religion. You want me to accept that bullshit? I should not call it out? Come on, man. Anyway, my answer to this nonsensical statement, will Indians take over UAE, is absolutely no. Indians need a country like UAE. Indians need. They need the tax-free dirhams. They need the career opportunities. They need to get out of the lack of job opportunities, the poor infrastructure, the politics, the suffocation that is there with overpopulation. That's why they leave India. Not that they hate India. If you don't have food to eat, you can't provide for your family, you can't take care of your children and your wife, what is the point of that kind of loyalty? Or you pray to your gods? Stupid. Yeah, go to a political rally, put an orange saffron thing on your head, wave an orange flag. Let's hope your bank balance increases. And then shout, all these profanities and bad words and, oh, we are number one. Ekdam number one. Ekdam. Stupidity. One should accept his limitations, be practical, be realistic. Indians can achieve great things, but it's their mentality and their upbringing pathetic, cheap. That's all it is. Remember, I'm not saying all Indians, but we have a 1.4 billion population. So even if I say 10% of 1.4 billion, it's big. Sadly, it's always 80%. 80% average, 20% Pareto principle. And out of that, the 1% Indians are Satya Nadella and Sundar Pichai and Ajay Banga and Indra Nuvi. The rest, 99.99. Anyway, some of my thoughts. Let me know whether you agree or disagree. You guys take care.